question.
That's why I'm letting you answer this one. Go ahead.
Yes,
please.
I know, because
Continue.
you don't run away from stuff. So, back in the days when I was young, I used to run away from problems and arguments all the time. And what made me want to stay and deal with them is the love and compassion that I got from the other partner. Even though he was mad.
The other partner or Ron?
You, Ron.
Okay, good.
Okay? You should have the question from the bottom. So, the way I learned how to stay during every argument is basically knowing that this comes from a place of somebody being hurt and somebody who wants to be heard and somebody who does not want to hurt me. So when I actually listened to him and I actually stayed in arguments that I had to stay in because I got called out on my running away, I realized that a lot of the conversations, a lot of the arguments that we used to have was actually not even from a hurtful place, but it was more from like pain and from hurt, and learning how to stay in those situations was more rewarding than leaving, because you should know if your partner does love you and care about you. I think that you will feel that, and then you will learn to stay, because like I said, back in the days, I used to run. Not only did I run, I sprinted out of there and I was like, I ain't turning back, and I was the queen of ghosting people, so I would just literally cut people off. But I think when you find somebody who's willing to teach you how to stay, because Ron actually taught me how to stay. Thanks, babe.
Thank you, honey.
He literally taught me how to stay, because he was like, oh, we ain't doing this. No, you're not going anywhere. We're going to have to talk about this. Because I had a problem staying, and he had a problem thinking that every time I left, we were broken up. And I'm like, no, we're not broken up. I'm just leaving so I can protect your feelings, because I'm going to say some hurtful stuff. Because culturally, I come from a language of some painful ass shit. Like, we say the meanest things ever and we'll forgive and forget like 2 seconds later. And I know you don't do that. So I would leave to protect you. But but I feel like if you feel like the person that you're with is willing to help you stay and is willing to protect you and is willing to have like safe and not go for the jugular and kill you, I definitely feel like they'll help you stay.
So let me add this too. To the person who says you have issues staying or running away, please know that usually the things you use to protect yourself from people that remind you of your pain, you create that person with the things you do to protect yourself. Meaning, like, if you don't want to be cheated on and you do so much to control that person to where they don't feel like you trust them, you create a cheater. I'm not saying you deserve it, but I'm saying you create it. Or if you don't like having conflict, but you run every time the person that you love tries to talk to you, you're telling them, I'm not worthy of conflict resolution. And they're going to get to a point where they're not going to trust you. They're not going to trust you because they're like, okay, you're going to run anyway if I tell you how I feel. And that's very dangerous. So you're creating the one thing that you don't want. And also, becoming an adult sometimes is having hard conversations. Doing real love and doing real relationship is having a bunch of conversations that don't feel good. But once you're on the other side, you grow and you become closer. So you don't want to create an environment where you're like, I'm going to run every time they say something serious, because they're going to know they can't trust you with their words, and they're going to feel like they're not good enough for you to stay and talk to them. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm on TV right now. Look at that. Look at God. Thank you so much. Because in the beginning, when me and my wife got together, she was my fiance or girlfriend, she used to leave while we were talking. And in my head, I'm like, I hear so many women complain about men don't want to talk and communicate. And I'm here. I'm trying to talk. I'm not raising my voice. I'm trying to have resolve with you. And the worst thing in a relationship is to solve a us issue by myself. I'm trying to resolve it with you, and you trying to leave. That's very dangerous. And eventually I told her, I was like, yo, you can't keep doing this. If you want to be my partner, be my partner. Like, don't run. That's what kids do. Kids run when they don't want to have conversation. But my wife, she took it in, and she was like, yo, I got you. And so then she started letting me have it, and she stayed. And that's really dope, which I think that's a part of being in a relationship. Like, relationships is all conflict resolution and decision making. And if you're with somebody and you can't do conflict resolution and you can't make decisions, what are you doing? All they're doing is managing your fears, and that's not fair. So, yeah, you teach people how to treat you. And you also might want to go talk to somebody and unpack why you feel the need to leave when you say how you feel, because that's very dangerous, you know? And a lot of times it comes from childhood stuff. As a kid, I was the youngest in my household, and I feel like I had to, like, act out to be heard. I had to, like, get loud or be sarcastic or be funny in order to be heard in my family. And it's very tough, man. So you might want to unpack that, talk to somebody and figure out why you want to leave. And then also ask your person, How does it make you feel when I leave when we're having disagreements? That's what you want to find out.